Okay, we're out in the shop, and today I've got a Wilesco steam engine from Germany. Damps machine. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's got a steam engine in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different languages. It says made in Germany. This is the box that comes in. Very colorful. I've got some instructions. They appear to be in German. I've got a nice little bag of, it's got a funnel, some extra gaskets for the all the connections, and a little wrench. So pulling it out here. Pretty color, maybe aquamarine, aqua blue, and get the lamp post here. You assemble that, and a chimney. Gotta have the chimney. Turn the light on. The history of Wilesco in Germany. Wilesco is a combination of Wilhelm Schroeder Company Metalworks, so Wilesco, Wilhelm Schroeder. They started as an aluminum foundry, producing knives and forks and fittings for furniture. They made a combination of a can opener and spoon that could take on camping trips. And later in the 20s, they began making pots and pans for doll houses and domestic toys, they called them. And this helped the company get through the Great Depression. During the Depression, the 30s, early 30s, the company was exporting these dollhouse and toys to the U.S. It kept them in business. Then in 1939, they began making aluminum scoops for like rice and coffee beans and things like that. And they were making towel hooks and coat hooks that you could screw onto your wall or door to hang up towels. And then they started making steam engines in 1950. They started with 3 stationary engines, and then they expanded that to include a steamroller called Old Smoky. And then in 1966, a steam tractor and a fire engine, and then eventually up till today, they have like 40, I think around 43 or more steam engines, miniature steam engines, steam toys, a steam truck, a mobile crane, lots of them. So that's Wilesco. I do have this D-18, and it's got what they call a dynamo and an antique style street light right here. The dynamo is right here, a little black. I imagine it's a DC motor. Has a brass boiler that's been nickel plated. It's about 6 inches long and 2.5 inches in diameter. Does have the round sight gauge for assessing the amount of water. It's got a blow down valve. In other words, when you're finished, you open this up and you can drain all the water and steam out. It has a pressure gauge, and of course, like in Europe, it's measured in bars. It has a pressure relief valve, spring-loaded pressure relief valve, and a spring-loaded steam whistle with a chain. So you can see the work platform here. Apparently this is a model of a great big steam engine, maybe that would run a factory or even a small city with a generator, and the workman would walk up here and pull the whistle at closing time, I guess. You know, time to go home. Fred Flintstone, right? And here's the street lamp. Here's the dynamo. It's got a black flywheel. The crankshaft counterweight is appears to be cast. Then it has the steam valve or throttle here, an oiler. You can open this up, drop that with a few drops of oil, and then as the steam comes into the steam chest, delivers oil to the slide valve and the cylinder. This does have a chimney, and there's a pipe here. The exhaust pipe comes and exhausts just under the chimney, so hopefully we'll get some steam coming out of the chimney when it's running. There's a little bit of oil residue left in there, so I'll take my trusty rag from the last time I ran this. This thing is about, this is probably about 10 years old. Spent most of its life in the box. I ran it a few times after I got it. This takes the tablets. I'll probably run it on sterno. It's a little, I think sterno is a little cleaner. It slides in here. So we'll fill it with water. Let it heat up and get it running. The filling hole is also the pressure relief valve here. So now I've got a good old can of sterno. Sterno's a little bit dangerous if you get sloppy with it. It's hard to see the flame, and it can go on the floor or whatever. I have these little wooden spoons that they used to give out with ice cream. Somewhere, a flea market, whatever, I got a whole box of these for free. So I use them for mixing epoxy and paint and sterno. So I'm going to load the fuel tray with some sterno. Burns really clean compared to those Esbit tablets that, in my experience, they leave a black residue that's pretty nasty. So I'm trying to keep this thing in good shape. So this thing is kind of like, it's like the consistency of mayonnaise, something like that. There's not much left in this can, but hopefully it's enough to give us a good run on the Wilesco number 18, D-18. Alright, that's pretty full. So before I slide it in, I'll light it up. Got my handy dandy diamond kitchen matches. Strike on box. My grandfather would light his cigars with these. Alright, one match. It's lit. Fits nicely. Alright, that's heating up, and now we just wait. I'm gonna oil everything up with my handy dandy pocket oiler. So Put a few drops in the oil cap, the oiler, just a touch on the crankshaft bearings, and these there are openings. There are openings like little oil openings, and these very realistic, just like the real steam engines in the old days. Crankshaft bearings, crosshead, slide valve. Get some oil on all. I don't want to put too much because it'll, gather dust and dirt, but a little bit will help keep things running smoothly. That's pretty good. Okay, it's been heating up for maybe 5 or 6 minutes. So you can see some action in the water sight glass. And I can see bubbles around the valve here and some steam. Got some condensation coming, and there she goes. Pressure now is showing 1.5, slightly over 1.5 bar. It's a little bit into the red. But the pop-off valve hasn't gone. Let's see if it'll toot. Oh yeah. So it is running. I've got a lot of light on this, so I'm not sure we're going to see the generator yet. So what I'm going to do is turn off some of the lights. Open up the valve a little bit. Okay, let's rev it up and see if we can get that light to come on. So I'm letting the steam pressure build up again. I checked the tiny little light bulb in here. I checked it with a pair of tweezers to make sure it was tight because I didn't see any other way to get this fixture off. I had to go in with tweezers. And it's a tiny little screw-in light bulb, so I tightened it up a little bit. And then I changed the generator drive belt here. It's a spring from the smaller pulley to the larger pulley. And we'll speed it up and try it again. See if it lights up. Turn this light off. So you got plenty of pressure. Here it goes. Everything is very hot. Right again. There she goes. Okay, I've added a bit more sterno down here, and then you can see the pressure is rising slowly. Water's boiling. Pressure's up to 1 bar. So I found a bar to PSI conversion table on my phone, and you can see that 1 bar is 14.5 PSI. So right now we have a little over 1 bar. So that's over 14, maybe 15 PSI. The light is on in there, I don't know if you can see it. It's just not bright enough to overcome all the shop lights I have. Okay, I've restoked the boiler. We're up to a little over 1 bar on the pressure gauge, and 1 bar is 14 PSI. See, it just bumped up there a little more. Water's boiling, so we're just going to do a little run time. So I'll open up the steam valve, let the steam into the steam chest. There it goes. Now the light is lit. Hard to see because I've got all the shop lights back on. Takes the pressure down rather rapidly. Down to about a half a bar now, which would be 7 PSI. You can read that. Needs to run pretty steadily at that RPM. Wilesco D-18 with the dynamo. The little black thing here is the dynamo.